In defense of consultants, I will say that I think that, perfect is the enemy of good. So it's difficult to come up with a perfect solution or a perfect strategy, but you can come pretty close, especially when you come with experience across international organizations, the private sector, government projects. I'm going to be humble here, but honestly, when you originally start seeing things from a only technical perspective, it is you are like the horses like that you are not able to see around you, and you need to have a comprehensive view and a sense of urgency, because cyber attacks we are already late for the cyber attacks that are happening now. So I think that together, as we mentioned in the previous panel, working in silos is no longer a thing. The cybersecurity department has to work with compliance, it has to work with legal, we have to work together, we have to have a corporate culture of embedding all this in the values of the company and making it as a second nature to be able to comply when things do go wrong and conflicts arise. So we were talking about minimizing litigation risk across jurisdictions. I want to move into the key legal differences and the strategic impact that this has. Right? So what do you think are the most relevant differences among these data protection laws that we've been mentioning that may affect litigation strategy or compliance obligations?
Sure, absolutely. Again, building on to the discussion that we have had so far, every law is, as I said, it has its local nuances. Although I completely agree what was being discussed in the earlier panel as well, that GDPR has been instrumental in so many regulators coming up with their laws. It does draw a lot from that, but there are again some local nuances, some things which are different in in every law. So that is one thing. When you talk about differences, the transfer, I think the data transfer regime is probably the point or the topic which would be different in most of the pieces of legislation. Some of the countries or some of the laws are not very protective of data staying. Of course, they're protective of confidentiality of the data, but not for the data staying within the borders. They can be, for example, transferred to whitelisted countries. In Saudi, we saw an example of having very, very strict local data storage requirements earlier. But then once the law came out, they did come out with the SCCs, the standard contractual clauses, or the BCRs, binding common rules, where data could be transferred outside so long as a certain protocol was followed. We keep getting the indications that a whitelist, that there are a list of countries which will be whitelisted would be coming out quite soon from SADAIA, which is the regulator. We have not seen that yet, but it will be probably forthcoming. Earlier, the government data also had to be stored within Saudi Arabia, and that was not only a requirement which was coming from the PDPL, it was a requirement which was coming from the national NCA as well, the National Cybersecurity Authority. We have seen that requirement going away last year, in the second part of the last year. So there is obviously some movement in terms of transfer, but then again, I think that will be one of the main topics. As I said, consent, probably how much informed that consent is, how much of a positive action would you need from a person to, for example, send them any marketing information. And that, by the way, is also is covered in the draft amendments to the implementing regulations of Saudi as well, which the draft which just came out a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So all of this is very, very relevant in the field of AI and how AI technology and how AI solutions are being deployed and developed these days, because obviously your LLMs are being developed on a large part of data. We have seen numerous cases of litigation in the US as to how that data or how those agents are being trained, and we have also seen a shift, so to speak, by the judges and the courts as to how much confidentiality or how much IPRs do the authors have in that work.